Welcome to the DIYS podcast. You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all our listenership, our viewership all over the world. Yeah, we are here again. This is the DIYS podcast. You know, the Do It Yourself podcast. We have been here, and my name remains the same. The one and only Sir Patrick Omotayo.
Yep.
I'm the host. Yeah, and my co-host is here. Stand by. Let them know.
Is there standby? Yep. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that listened to us last week and the week before that, and just all our viewership in general. I go by the name Kelvin Omani, and now I'm your co-host. We are here, another episode of the DIYS podcast, which means the Do It Yourself podcast. And yeah, we have a packed show for you. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. I would like to hand over back to Sir Patrick for him to pilot the show.
Thank you. For those of you that would like to see us on YouTube, you can get us on Sir Patrick Omotayo on YouTube. You will love it. Today is our fourth episode.
Yep.
And today will be tremendous. It will be tremendous because the topic speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And I believe you will really enjoy it. It's a topic that everyone have been talking about. But we need to dig it deep here. And the topic is the leaders versus the youth.
Yeah.
We are facing off, the leaders and the youth. So today we have someone special, very, very special.
Yeah, that's fine.
The number one filmmaker, photographer, and graphic design in entire Malaysia.
Number one, though.
Number one as a whole. He's loaded, and I believe we are privileged to have him sitting here with us.
Yeah.
You don't know, this guy is very busy and is all over the place. But in his busy schedule, he's trying to pass message to us. I know we'll learn today because we are here to learn.
Yeah.
One way, one thing or the other, and I believe we're going to learn on how he get things started.
Yeah.
So please join me as I welcome Mr. Moses UCHE OKPALAOKA.
So,
Thank you very much.
I feel like we need a round of applause for him.
AKA Moses Visuals.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate your presence,
Yes.
and I believe we are privileged to have you.
Yeah.
Well, I've known you for some time now, and then you've been doing a lot of things. A few years ago, we worked with you, and then we can see your supernatural touches.
Right, thank you,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So please, we want you to share to how it all started with you in a foreign land, and you are representing your country in a very positive ways. Because I remember when I came to this country, people will tell you there's no job. They'll tell you you can't do this, you can't go there, you can't even toilet, you can't do that. But in your case, it's so different. You get a lot of things doing, and then we appreciate that. So we are curious to know exactly how it all started.
Yeah.
So to you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on your podcast. It's a
thank
pleasure. I'm really grateful you reached out to me.
Yeah.
Okay, but first and foremost, I honestly have this thing where people go like, when you ask somebody like, how did he start? They'll tell you, they'll be like, oh, it's God, oh, it's God, honestly. But the truth is, yes, it's God,
Yeah.
because I have to be very factual here.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, right? It's God, but it's most importantly work. Yeah, it's most importantly your hard work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, my voice is a little bit low.
No, it's
okay.
Yeah, I've been up all night. Don't mind me.
yeah, we understand.
Yeah. So it's been God, but mostly work. I came to Malaysia, I think about 9 years ago, right?
Wow.
9 years. Well, in 2019, right?
Yeah.
I came 2010 to start my degree then. Okay, so I have always wanted to do photography and cinematography, you know. But you know, I'm African. I'm Nigerian. And my father, I told my dad, and then he just ignored me and sent me here to read accounting and finance. So I agree, and then I came. And when I came, I dropped photography. I dropped the interest. I dropped the interest of filmmaking because I thought to myself, I was like, it's Malaysia, man. There's nothing you can do. And then people told me, I was like, can I work like in a photography studio? Can I work in a film studio, film company? And then they're like, you cannot do anything in Malaysia. Most people told me, even before I came here, people already told me that you cannot do it.
Wow.
So then I told myself, I was like, you know what? That's true. Let's just finish school and go back.
Mm.
And then I remember my aunties will say, and if they're watching this, they'll kill me. But then they will say, they told my dad, they're like, hey, just send him to Malaysia to read accounting and finance. When he comes back, we'll get him a job because my aunties, both of them work in CBN. So we'll get him a job in CBN. And then it looked very good because CBN is,
Yeah,
we
it's
know CBN is like,
Yeah.
so I gave up everything. I just went to school, you know. And while I was in school, I had this friend, Kufre. I don't know if you know him. You not know him.
yeah, no kufri.
You know Kufre, right?
Yeah.
So Kufre is a musician now, right? But
Yeah,
Kufre
yeah.
used to love photography then. Kufre was a photographer. He was like dope ass photographer then.
Wow.
So yeah, wow. So so he had a camera, right? And then I'll borrow his camera and go and take pictures and come by. It was a Nikon. I can never forget. And as time went on, right, I developed interest back. That's the thing. So I was done my degree, and then I was thinking, you know what? I think I will go and read photography and cinematography full time, you know. And then I lost my dad.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
Oh,
and before
sorry.
I'm
then,
very sorry.
it's okay. It's fine. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I lost my dad, and before then, my mom, she died about 4 years before I was come to Malaysia. So
Wow.
I kind of didn't have any way to pay my fees at first. It was really hard. So I was like, okay, photography can't be that bad, right? So I started doing photography and designing flyers for clubs and then taking pictures for clubs. But I was not good. I was very awful. My camera was not that nice, and then my pictures were not that good either way. So yeah, as time went on, I decided to, because I couldn't go to photography school, but then my dad had already started paying for my master's, so I kind of continued paying for my school fees, and then I did my master's. So while I was doing my master's, I started learning on YouTube. Okay, now this is the most discouraging thing you have to understand about learning a trade, whether it's music or production or film, is that it doesn't go the way you want. Because, you know, there's this thing called social media, right?
Yeah.
And then you see a lot of people's work that is way better than yours, and it's not encouraging. It doesn't make you feel like you can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, and
That's
then
facts.
yes, we're in Malaysia also, right? And then because you're African, people won't just patronize you at top of the list, you know.
Exactly.
So you have that working against you. You also have the fact that you're not good and you didn't go to school. And when you approach somebody, the person asks you like, did you study this in school? You're like, no. And then the person feels kind of discouraged, you understand, to hire you.
Yeah.
So many things were there. I was honestly discouraged. And then, so I actually went to school in Nilai. I schooled with people that you may know, The Kid and Tony Tudo. You know
Yeah.
Tony?
Yeah.
So went to the same school. So photography was okay for me. And then I was like, why don't I try video cinematography? So I started cinematography. But I was learning from YouTube. Don't forget, I wasn't being taught by anyone, or somebody did not master me. I did not intern with someone.
Wow.
I didn't go to any company to learn. No, I learned everything on how to shoot, how to edit, how to do everything. I learned on YouTube.
Oh.
Okay, so while I was still learning, my church decided to shoot a movie. Okay, and then they told me, and then they didn't pick me because I was the best. They picked me because I was the only one that was learning.
Yeah.
So I had this friend. His name was Eddie. Okay, he had a Mac laptop, and it was super expensive. I couldn't afford one. And then he started. Me and him started learning together actually. And then he was showing me because he was more advanced. And then he was showing me, and then I was learning. And then I'll use his laptop and borrow it, and then I'll learn more from it. And then we shot the movie. The movie was very, very, very awful. I know my church is gonna kill me for saying this, but the movie
it's not super awful.
Yeah, but it was dope at the time now.
at that time, yes.
At that time, you were feeling yourself.
Yeah. But the movie was god awful. I watch it now, I'm like, I can't believe I did this. Like, the movie was bad. But then we did it, okay, either way, okay. And we did the first one, and we did the second movie. The second movie was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the first one though. So like part one and not part one, but then two different movies per se, let's just say that. So thanks to Eddie, we worked on this together, and then it really built me as a person, like video wise. But I wasn't still there because nobody was hiring me, that's the thing. I was just doing it for my church, you know. And then I continued, okay? I tried. I posted my work. People said, post your work out there. You know what? When you check online, people give you like bad tips. You know, when they say, "Oh, it's not about your gadget." Actually, it's about your gadget. You have to have good equipment.
Yeah.
People don't tell you that. It's no. It's about the skill in your head, but it's not. It's 80% your equipment and then 20% your skill. Let me be honest with you. So people don't feel like, oh, you can use what you have, but someone that has better than you will produce better quality at lower stress. He won't have to stress that much. He will just shoot and then just have good quality. And your crappy ass camera, you shoot and then be like, why is mine like this? So but I didn't know that. So I just kept trying, posting my work out there. People were rejecting it. It was painful. Okay. Now this brings us to the second part. Okay. Surround yourself with people that encourage you.
Wow.
Yeah. If you don't surround yourself with people that encourage you, I'm not talking about a far surround, so maybe like your friends. So I'm talking about your girlfriend, someone that you're in love with. Surround yourself with somebody that will support you. Because if they don't support you, there's no way you're going to do this. It's mental. You know, you can think that you can do yourself, but if people around you don't support you, if somebody tells you, if you're surrounded people that tell you that, hey, Malaysia, you know, go work for you, no matter what you do. If you work for this Malaysia, you know, if they tell you this kind of things, right, you will not do it. You may do it, but you won't do it at the speed at which you would have been able to do it.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So that's what I did. I surrounded myself with people that cared for me, supported me, you know, people that were there for me when I needed them, you know. But I made sure that I surrounded people that prayed for me, and then it was good. That's the thing. So even my relationship was beneficial to me.
Wow.
Okay. She was always there for me. She was always encouraging me. Okay, no, do this. You can do this. You can do this. You can try this. And then that's the thing about like, relationships. Secondly, if you're in a relationship, I'm not being like a love doctor or something.
No. Talk your talk.
If you're in a relationship, right? and the person you're in a relationship with doesn't see your vision, right? Then there's no point being in a relationship. To be honest, the person doesn't see what you see, right? If you tell the person, hey, I want to do this. I want to build. I want to be able to afford this. I want to be able to buy this car. I want to be able to do this shit. But I want to be able to do it doing what I'm doing right now, right? And even though it doesn't seem like you're doing great at the moment, and the person tells you, maybe you should try something else. The person doesn't believe in what you want to do. And if you feel like you are able to do it, don't be with that person. Be with somebody that believes in you. That's the important thing.
Exactly.
So
someone that buys your vision.
Someone that
is aligned.
That's aligned with you. That's the thing. Because it doesn't matter. Even let me tell you something. And then I'm going to go negative now.
Yeah.
Even if you are going to rob a bank, right? Okay, we're not robbers here, but if you're going to rob a bank and then you side yourself with an armed robber that's afraid to rob a bank, right? Yeah. You guys will fail.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
it. So it works both negatively and positively. That's how it is. So you have to side yourself with somebody that is together with you mentally. So that's what I did. I decided to drop those that were discouraging me and pick those that were going to encourage me. You know, work with them, relate with them, you know, and everything. And then there came the kid first. Okay, the kid asked me to shoot this video. Okay, it was a trying moment because first of all, he didn't just ask me. He asked me and another director, Brizo. He was like, "Hey, you and Brizo, shoot my video for me." And then he was like, "But then I want to use a red camera." Okay, you know what a red camera is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know what the red camera is. Okay, so it's a very expensive camera. But then he wanted to use the red one. That was like the oldest red. It's super heavy and very heavy. And then I've never used it before in my life. So I was afraid. And then the other director, Brizo, then I don't know whether Brizo likes to use red.
Shout out to Brizo, by the way.
Shout out to Brizo, by the way. And then Brizo. I can remember Brizo telling me then. Brizo was like, "I don't like using red. I don't like to use it because like I don't know how to use it. The files are heavy." And then he listed some things. I'm not shading him. I'm just saying at that point in time he felt the same way I felt. But the fact that he said it to me actually discouraged me, you know. So I was like, what the hell? The worst that can happen is that I shoot this video and then I cannot edit it. So I'll just do it. So then I did it. Okay. And then when I was shooting the video, I didn't have a computer to edit it either way. So just with my friend Precious, he bought a MacBook to edit the movie we shot for the church. And Precious just told me one day from nowhere, it was a MacBook, like then MacBooks were expensive. Yeah. And then he's like, you know what, just have it. Just have the MacBook.
Wow.
That's why I said if you don't allow
shout out to Precious too.
Thank you, President.
Shout out to
allow
Precious.
yourself to surround, if you don't surround yourself with people
That's a dope person, man.
that support you, again I'm saying this, right? It won't work. People like Blessing, Precious, Tony, all people who for once in their life, Eddie decided that I was worth it, right? They are the ones that kind of pushed me towards this. If for once Precious said, you know what, just give me a MacBook, I don't think you can do this shit, then maybe I'll feel discouraged. So he gave me his MacBook. We shot the video. That was I can't remember now. It was him and Black Jizz, the kid and Black Jizz. We shot the video.
Honey Sugar is Sweeter. What's the song? Honey Sweeter, yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So we shot that video, and then it came out, but it wasn't like too much of a banger. People were like, it was okay. He tried, that kind of a thing, and then it was done. Very long time I didn't shoot. I didn't do anything, and then that's when the kid and Tony together with Investor BJ came into my life.
Wow.
Now that was and then this was the most shocking thing that happened to me. I was still working clubs then. Okay, and then Dickie told me, I was like, hey, I'm now under Investor BJ's label and you'll be shooting for us. And I was like, I didn't believe him, so I was like, okay, all right, whatever. And then time passed. And then one day I finished shooting from the club, and then clubs closed late, around 7 a.m. or so. I hadn't slept. Then I was driving back home, and then Dickie calls me. He goes like, where are you now? I was like, I'm coming from the club. And then he asks, he's like, I will. Sorry, I'm giving too much detail.
No. Keep going, man.
Sorry. And then he goes like, he says,
there's a lot of lesson there.
he goes, you know what, we're shooting a Lauren video this night. Right? And then I was like, no, we're not shooting a Lauren video this night because I have not slept. And I don't know how I'm going to get the equipment. She was like, no, I want you to go and get the best camera. I want you to go and get the best equipment. And I was like, Dickie, chill first. You know how much the red is very expensive. You know what, I'm going to say the price. I don't care. The red goes for about 4,500 ringgit per day, just one day shoot. So I was like, and then we know we're students. So I was like, Dickie, just don't kill yourself, man. This is too much equipment you're asking for in a short period of time. And they would charge me higher because I didn't give them time.
Yeah.
He was like, no, this is BJ. And I was like, what do you mean this BJ? What's the budget? For the first time in my life, I almost fainted because like the kid was like, the budget was, and then I won't say the price, but the budget is about 4 or 5 times the amount of the camera itself. That's how big the budget was.
Wow.
And I was like, it's a lie. I was like, for real, but you have to shoot it today because BJ says like you have to shoot it. That's how BJ operates. Kind of like you have to do it now. So I started shivering because I didn't know how to get the stuff. And then I started running around looking for stuff, looking for camera, looking for equipment and stuff. And then by time it was night, I got in everything. I got in the camera. I got in the generator actually. Like I had to get like a big ass generator because like the equipments were heavy. So I basically got everything. And then we shot Oloro. You've seen the video.
Of course.
So we shot Oloro, and then I edited it, and then I sent it back, and then everybody was freaking out.
Wow. It's,
They're not freaking out bad, they're freaking out good. That was the
yeah,
first
good,
time.
yeah, good.
And then I was so shocked. And then the kid was like, and then when I called the kid, he goes like, first thing he says like, Moses, this is not good. And then I was like, what's not good? What's wrong? He was like, so you just wanted to kill us with this video? Is what he said. And then I was like, what do you mean? And then he starts to scream and shout. He was like, the video was nice. We posted the video, and for the first time, the video reached about 100K views. You know?
Wow. Wow.
And then the calls started coming in. It was not just BJ, it was then Tony. We shot Tony's video. We shot 4 more videos, under BJ. And then from then it just became this guy. And then one thing about this whole thing that happened to me. This is a third thing I'm coming to. Apart from after surrounding yourself with people that support you. When you feel that you have accomplished something, when you feel like you've reached a point where, oh, this is it. I've done this. I am Moses Visuals now. I am Moses. Everybody wants to shoot Moses Visuals.
Yeah.
Don't stop learning. Because if you stop learning at that point, right, the only way you're going is down. You're not going up. You're not getting better. Because I've met a lot of cinematographers, right? Even here in Malaysia, right? They go like, oh, you know that phase, in those days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know that this guy's video, this old person's video, Two-Face video, Idris Karim's video, or whatever video they mentioned before. I'm the one that shot it, And I respect people that do this, I respect people that tell me, oh, this, I've been doing this a long time ago. It's like schooling in maybe a school, and then the lecturer is two-way behind in his thought and skill. That it seems like he's not teaching you anything. It seems like he's carrying you backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, your knowledge will be stagnant.
Yes, and then that's how it is. So when people don't build on their skill, right, they start going back. That's it.
Exactly.
So
you need to build.
So after Honey Sweeter, after Olorun, right, I kept on learning more. I kept on learning how to shoot with other cameras, and then most of the things that got me in the door for a conversation was the fact that I could shoot with these cameras. It wasn't my skill. It was like, hey, can you use a red? And I'll be like, yes. Like, really, yes. And then, okay, fine, come and shoot for us.
Oh.
Wow.
And then it was like that. And then I kept learning more. I kept doing more. I kept getting support from people, And then, okay, by the way, by this time I'd done my master's. And then and then people went like, and then I was like, I needed to sustain my visa for the time I was being here. So what I did was I applied for a job. And I got a job.
Wow.
And I got the job. It wasn't cinematography. It was customer service. Okay, so and then the day they called me for the job, I didn't want to go, but then I finally went. And then I went for the job. I hated the job because it wasn't my passion. So I kept doing it for about 2 years. And so many things were going wrong in the company. I know my boss then will be saying this now. So maybe he wants to kill me, but so I don't care. Okay, but then things were going wrong in the company. Things that I didn't see should be going right. So I spoke out. Then I talked about it. And then I was a customer service. Customer service is not seen as a high job in the company, So, excuse me, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So my boss called me, and then he said, and then we're in a meeting that day, and then he called me to speak, and then I spoke in a meeting, and then he said, how would I like to be the business development manager in a company? And I was Nigerian, and I was African, and it was a local company.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, sure, okay, let's do it. And then I became the business development manager.
Big bag.
For about 1 year. And I didn't believe it, because people have said a lot of things about Malaysia. People said you can't get a job, you can't do this. And then we have been in this same box thinking the same thing, because people have been handing it down. Yo, you cannot get a job. Oh, you cannot get a job. And they keep telling everybody else, And it makes it seem like everybody's just hanging around here to leave when they're done with school or when they're done visiting.
Exactly.
But if you want something and you put your mind to it, you actually get it.
Exactly.
If you don't discourage yourself, you don't surround yourself with people that discourage you, you actually get it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I had that job for quite some time. It was nice, I was able to actually make difference in the company. I cannot say for a fact the things that I brought, but I brought ideas that really did change the company, including mobile app and so many other things. And then this is the shocking part. And then I quit.
Wow.
I quit the company. Yeah.
You left the big bag.
Not because I didn't like what I was doing, but because I just didn't have passion for it. And then when I quit the company, it was like back to square one. It was like back to when I was in school. So when I quit, it's not as if there are jobs. Okay, there are no jobs. I didn't want to apply again. I wanted to just face cinematography as a head-on game. Just do it alone. So it was scary. Sorry, I'm not speaking very well because just remembering it makes me feel very emotional.
Yeah.
Because
Totally understand.
I remember the day walking from the office and then something kept telling me, you have just made the biggest damn mistake of your life, you idiots. Why? Because I wasn't having time. I was working 9 to 6, bro. And when I come back, I'm tired. I cannot edit. I can shoot, but maybe I cannot edit. And if I want to shoot, I have to take leave. And my boss will get pissed at me. And I asked myself, I was like, what's the point? Okay, if God was there with me, or if I was able to do this before I got the job, I can do it after I have this job. So time went on, and then I kept shooting as I was doing. I kept learning, I kept shooting, and things started changing. Okay, and things didn't change like they changed before. Things changed better. Things became how to say this? Let's just say, like as of today, I've shot for Maybank, LG, what else? A big gaming company,
Giant.
Giant? No, not Giant. I thought you mentioned it. Okay. Just so if you check my Instagram profile, you see I cannot list all of them. There are a lot of them. There's this big law firm I just finished working with. I was able to partner with a company called Moving Image, and then we've been doing big things like super huge things. And I have the only way I was able to reach this was, and you won't believe it, was like quitting my job. It wasn't something that I was able to do out of. I thought about it. It took me, and I won't lie to you because let me tell you, all of us have that fear in us when it comes to things like this. Okay, and then it took me about 6 months of literally walking to my boss's office, like his door, and walking back to my seat. 6 months. Wow. Once a month or once a week, I must walk to his office, like his door, and then I'll go back. I'm like, not today, not maybe tomorrow. And then I kept doing this every day.
It's not easy, man.
But then I can't be more grateful to God because by God's grace, I make more. I've experienced more. I've met better clients. I have been referred to by my better clients to better people. And it wasn't just, it's not just music videos now, it's commercials, it's lifestyle videos. So that's it. That's basically my journey from
Wow. So,
the whole thing. I'm sorry if
first of all,
I was talking to
no, it's cool.
Yeah,
first of all, I'd like to appreciate you again for being here.
Yeah,
you inspire me a lot. Like, apart from
much.
you just telling this story, I'm always on your page, and I'm always like propping you up in your DMs because like I've seen your growth.
Yes.
As you were telling the stories about the videos, I was just thinking in my head because I knew when all these things happened. Shout out to everybody that Moses mentioned.
Yeah.
And I think shout out to Babs too.
Yes.
Yeah. You know why I said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, everything you just said now was just so inspiring. Like I feel like switching it up, but let's just get back. Let's get back to like our main topic now. With everything you said, our topic today is the youth versus the leaders. Now, I grew up in a neighborhood where there were elder people and there were younger people. So every Sunday, these old people come together and then they have meetings. And usually when they have these meetings, it's always about like the younger people. They'll just talk about they'll talk about their flaws and everything. And then every Sunday too, the younger people will come together and then they will have a meeting too about the older people. So it was always like I was always present. I was a kid, but I was always hearing these people complaining and complaining and complaining. Now, me bringing this is if you just look at our life now and our environment, like, can you give us like from your point of view, can you give us the pros and the cons of the youth, and then the pros and the cons of the leaders, like from your point of view?
Okay. When you say pros and cons, are you saying like the bad things that youths are doing?
Yeah, the bad things, the good things.
You know, what's the good things about youth and
the bad things about them, and then same to the leaders.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to assume here that the leaders are older than the youth, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
Because the youth can also be leaders, but then
we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay. So, but then the thing is, okay, for leaders, I would say that. And then, is there any scenario here? Are we talking about Nigeria in itself or in general?
Okay. Let's use Nigeria as a case study.
As a case study.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's good to use case studies.
Yeah.
Talking about Malaysia is different from Nigeria.
Yeah. Let's use Nigeria as a case study.
Okay. For Nigeria, the thing is, for the leaders, right? And then this is subjective. Okay. The leaders have this, and this is a con. This is a bad thing. Okay. They have this thing where it's eat now and enjoy now. Okay, let's consume as much as we can consume right now, so that somebody doesn't steal it from me. So while I'm there, let me make sure I take as much as I can. Okay, that's one kind of leader. Some other kind of leaders are, let me just keep quiet and enjoy myself and go. Okay, it was nice being a senator, a governor, a chairman, or whatever it is. It's nice being that. Let me just keep quiet and mind my business and not cause any trouble and go. So these are positive sides of so many leaders that we see today, especially in Nigeria. You're either afraid to do some shit, or they just want to eat. Just take as much as they can. Just consume more, consume. And then, funny enough, when you challenge them about this thing, they tell you, it has been happening before I came.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do I have to change it? Do you know how long it takes to change something like this? And I won't lie to you, because most of us, like, we point fingers, right? But it's not easy to enter a place and change it and turn it around from where it has been.
Yeah.
But there's something about change, okay? Nobody's asking anybody to change today. Just start your own. Let someone continue.
Yeah.
That's all. So if most leaders are afraid to change, now, pros. Nigerian leaders, pros. This is a very hard thing to say. So I to say a pro about a Nigerian leader. And then I'm trying my best to be as mitigated as possible.
I'm seeing.
This is I cannot start from somewhere. Okay. But then I honestly have to say this. I don't see any pro to any leader in Nigeria, honestly. I don't even care if they're my family members or somebody I know. But I am 100% sure that if there was a pro, right, I would say it. The only pro I can say is the fact that Nigeria is still a country should be the only pro.
Wow.
Right? Because
that's deep.
Yeah, because let me tell you, if you take Nigerian leadership and put it in another country, like I know many people say, hey, but better than so many countries. Yeah, I think it's God. Because the level of corruption in Nigeria alone is appalling.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get to the youth. Okay. The youth cons, right? They can point fingers. And then the thing about the youth is that they don't know that they don't have to be leaders to make a change.
Wow.
Let me tell you, for example, you've heard of this. Let's go back to US. Okay. I don't like comparing Nigeria to US, but because the truth is that because we are two different people.
Yeah.
Okay, they have the amount of guts and power and determination that we Nigerians don't. Not we Nigerians, but most youth Nigerians don't have. Okay, but then I'll mention US as a point, not as a comparison. Because I want to just state this out.
Sure.
In US, there's gun violence, and then children, and then these are not even, these are teens. They're not youth. Okay, so teens where people have shot people have come to shoot in your schools, right? Came around, and then started standing against it, started protesting against it, and gradually the government is taking a toll on gun violence, inflicting better rules, better regulations, better. So those are teenagers that are changing the government. Okay, they are educating themselves and changing the government, not Nigerian youth. Nigerian youth, right, will sit down in laziness and blame the government.
Blame.
That is it.
On Twitter.
Exactly. On Twitter, they will go there and blame the government. Okay. So you're blaming the government about the fact that you don't have money, but you have money to buy internet and a phone and tweet. That the fact that you don't have a job.
That's facts.
But the phone in your hand is a good enough investment, right? For most companies that we see today and then we bow down for. So most of the biggest companies you see, right? Most of the investment that started those companies is less than the phone that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
It goes to show you that we just want to point and blame somebody in Nigeria. That's all. And then it's inbuilt in every human. Okay, if something happens to you, you want to find somebody to blame.
Yeah.
It's natural. Okay, but Nigerians have taken it all the way to the end. Okay, so youths will always blame. Secondly, right, youths will never ever stand up to do something. I'm actually happy now that some people are actually opening their eyes, especially with the whole issue with the pastor that raped something. Okay, the turnout for that, even though one Sunday to me is too small, but people still turned up to shout about it, talk about it. So Nigeria is taking a toll. And then this is, and then people are going to kill me for saying this, okay? Because this whole rape thing, right? It's something that's happening beside us.
Yeah.
Okay. People have seen things happen beside them, and then they have let it go. But because it's a celebrity involved, then people are out here shouting and talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just saying that even though this is hypocritical, it's working. If they can take that same energy and attack the government, right, things will change. So Nigerians youths lack priority.
Okay.
They go for clout. They go for things that make them popular, not things that actually work. Yes.
Yeah.
Cons, pros.
Pros.
Sorry. Pros is Nigerian youths, right, are active. Okay. Even though this might contradict what I said earlier, okay, when the time comes, when they want to do it, they get active. They get active and they get active very strong. If Nigeria has to learn something, right, we have to learn from Sudan. Sudan and its youths, right, have shown the whole world that a country can actually stand up and shout and shout and shout,
And then there'll be change.
and then there'll be change. Okay, people might die, people might be in prison, but there will be change. So Nigerian youths can do 10 times what people did in Sudan if they want to do it. For example, SARS. Okay, we did it for SARS, right? But then people did it for SARS because it affected the way of lifestyle. It affected their lives. It literally
Personally.
affected them personally. That's why they actually went out to talk about SARS, stop SARS, do the SARS. So Nigerian youths, when they want to be active, can be active.
Yeah.
And then second pros is Nigerian youths are very adaptive. So for example, right, when something goes wrong, we know what channels to use. Whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's social media. Even though we use it for our own special needs, but we have a way to take it and use it for something that's good. So we're very adaptive. We can go with the age, we can go with the time and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is a lot.
That was
Yeah.
deep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, now we are placing both to face off, both the youth and the leaders.
Yeah.
From your point of view, because if you go to the leader, if you decide to ask the leader, they will tell you there's an adage, there's maybe, is it quote, I will call it, an adage that says, if the youth is cutting a tree, that is the elderly one, that is the leaders now, just assume they are the leaders, that knows where
But it's
that
true
tree
for
will fall.
yeah.
That that is, they have their perspectives. So now we believe there's a problem, and both parties are involved in that problem. So in your view, which part is it, the leaders or the youth that is causing more damage? So, and to your answer, you have to give reason to to your answer that, okay, here, I think these people are causing most damage. And this is the reason I'm saying it. Yeah.
Okay. Who's causing more damage? Wow. No, this is
It's loaded.
because I'm a youth, right?
Yeah.
You feel somehow when I say it's the leaders, but I honestly it's the leaders because and then this is my reason for saying this. Okay. You see, if I should stand, if a child should stand on the road, right, and start to break maybe that car glass or the car windshield, right, and we leave that child to continue, you don't say anything, right? The child will keep doing it. Okay. If you say stop, right, it's not good. The child will stop. Okay. The thing about the leaders is that, right, they're doing what they're doing and destroying the country, right, because the youths are keeping quiet. That's it. Okay. Why? When Nigeria was under the military government, right, and I don't know history, so I'm not going to come out like some philanthropist or something. So I may be wrong, right? But when Nigeria was under military government, right, our economy was better. It's not a good thing. Okay, our economy was better because people were afraid. People would do what you're asked to do.
Yeah.
Okay, this doesn't mean I'm supporting military government. Okay, when I was younger, I remember in secondary school, my teacher asked us about which we think is better, military or a democratic government, and then I said military government, and then they punished me. But then she asked a question, and then they punished me. But then that's because I was naive then, because like people have the right to speak up. Actually, it's what makes us who we are. Okay, but let's talk about Sudan, for example. Sudan, was not going through some kind of, maybe it's not as if the guy was killing people in Sudan. And I keep referring to Sudan because I can't be more proud of any African country right now, even though they don't have like a super great economy. Even though
Sudan or South Sudan? Now there are two of them.
Okay, yeah. When I say Sudan, I'm referring to what just happened now. Yeah, South Sudan. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
The issue
that just happened now
Okay.
with their military government. So sorry, I'm using Sudan.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So when I talk about this, I'm not talking about it because Sudan has the best economy. No, actually, this whole thing they did kind of crippled their economy. But from now on, the military government is down. It's actually coming down. So from now on till when the economy becomes good, it will be a sweet journey because they had the time to restart. Because the youth had the time to shout and say, "Hey, no, what you're doing is not good. Calm down. Okay, we don't want this." And it doesn't have to take us to be in a military government to actually make noise, you know.
Exactly.
So the leaders damaging the country, right, is something they can do because they are being left to do it. It's not something they can do because they have to do it or because they want to do it. They want to do it, and then there's freedom to do it. Nobody's stopping them. Who is going to stop them, really? Okay. People talk about, hey, why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? It's because when the person in power, the chairman or senator, comes to sit, right, when he sits down, there's money waiting for him to overlook things, okay, to say this, to do this, to do that, right? The only thing that will change Nigeria is him taking that money or him not taking the money. It's a very sweet decision. So do you want to take the money and shut up, or don't take the money and work? Okay. And then that's all. So leaders themselves, right, are doing what they're doing because they're being left to do it. Not because they are bad people, or no, they're actually very good people. It's just that we're letting them do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Nobody's holding them accountable. The people that's supposed to hold them accountable, right, are also under the same shadow of corruption.
That same influence.
Yeah. And then people that are supposed to hold those people accountable, everybody's under corruption. You know?
Yeah.
So you want to stand out, you're going to stand out alone. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then secondly, right, the youths, how they're damaging the country itself, right? It's, as I said earlier, right, is by shutting up. It's by not speaking up.
By adapting.
Exactly. It's what they're doing. They're adapting. And then you can adapt for so much. And you can adapt to so much. And it will reach a point where, and God forbid that it happens to anybody, reach a point where you can't afford to eat. Okay, you can't afford to buy food for yourself or your family. And then you start to wonder, oh, okay, it's true. I want to shout. And then by the time you start making noise, people look at you, oh, you're making noise because you don't have money. That's why people say that.
That's true.
Okay, and then you don't have money because you kept quiet till you did not have money.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so that's how the youths are damaging. And then people go and say different things about Nigeria. People say, "Oh, restart Nigeria. Oh, sell Nigeria. Oh, let's cut out our own side and come out from Nigeria." You know, but let me tell you the truth is, don't be surprised. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. Okay, I'm Igbo also. Okay, we can cut out ourselves from people can cut out yourself from Nigeria, right? And still face the same problem outside.
Of course.
And you be like, why are these leaders also corrupt? Then people will tell you it wasn't the country, you know.
Yeah.
It was the people in the country.
It was
Yeah.
the same influence.
So yeah, same influence. So it doesn't. If there is no change from inside, right, it won't happen. That's just the truth. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that insight. Thank you for that insight.
Yeah.
There was something you said and then I picked up. You said Nigeria youths are like highly adaptive to like our environment and the things happening to us. Now, I've had the privilege of being on one of your sets.
Oh,
yeah. And then we had to go all the way to Melaka.
Yeah.
Now, I know a bunch of directors that wouldn't stress themselves that much. So, I feel like I should assume that you're a highly motivated individual.
Yeah.
No. Okay. My question is, has the lack of a good leadership in Nigeria, in our home, has the lack of that leadership, that strong leadership, that mentorship, has it affected your motivation? Has it demotivated you or motivated you in any way, or it doesn't just affect you at all? You don't look at it.
The thing is, sorry. The thing is, why are we here? Sorry. When I say why are we here, I mean, like, why are we in Malaysia? Okay. People are going to give you a lot of reasons. First, some people will say school, and then me, I'll say bullshit. Okay? You're here to school. There are so many schools in Nigeria. Why didn't you school in Nigeria? Okay. The only reason we're here right now in this country having this podcast, right, is because Nigeria is a shit country. Sorry for my language. Okay? That is why we're here. That's why everybody's leaving. That's why everybody's going out. Countries that has a stable economy like US or Botswana, and then I had to mention an African country, so you know, or South Africa, right?
Yeah.
You don't see them around. You see them in other countries, but they're not the way you see Nigerians. Because we're living on a daily, bro. We're living every single day. Okay? So, yes. The thing that pushed me, the thing that pushed my dad to send me here, the thing that pushed me to actually start this, right, must have been, yes, my country, what I'm going through, and then what we're going through. And then the reason that I fought to stay here, you know, is the same reason my country and what my country is going through and how my country is getting worse every single day. So, yes, it has actually affected. I thought about, because like you told me when I was watching the other episode, right, I saw that you asked actually the same question, and then I told myself, I was like, no, it did not affect me. I did what I want to do because I just wanted to do it. No, I don't think so. No, because I feel like if Nigeria was a nice place, I won't come here. One, I'll be in Nigeria. I'll probably go to one school, end up in CBN, think my life is okay, and just work. You know? But actually, yeah, it pushed me to do a lot. I'm just coming to realize it now that it actually did push me to do a lot of things that I did. You know? So then I asked myself, you really want to go back to Nigeria like this with lack of skills? And then either way, I will still, you know, I'll go back and learn more. Or do you want to, or do you want to go back to Nigeria and people ask you, hey, what did you go and learn from where you came from? And then I'll come and show them certificates, really, of accounting and finance. No, I had to have something in my head. I had to have something I could sell, because the thing is that I'm not like a super rich guy, you know. I'm not like rich and everything. But the thing is, your wealth, right, is your head. Okay? The things you know in your head. I'm sorry, I'm diverting from the question.
No, it's fine.
Okay, the things you know in your head, right, is your wealth. If you know enough to sell, right, you can sell an idea that makes you the richest man in the world. Every guy that's rich in the world, right, it started by an idea. It started in your head. It didn't start from oh, okay, I have money. If you're dumb, if I don't say dumb, sorry, if you don't have something to sell in your head, which everybody does, by the way, let me not push around. Everybody has that thing. Or if you're not able to sell it, everybody has to be a salesman for what's in their head. And if you're not able to sell what's in your head, right? You are not going anywhere. That's the truth. So, Nigeria in itself and turmoil is going through, and whatever corruption is going through, right, has like honestly has to be 90% of the influence that made me. 10% is passion, but 90% is you don't want to fail as a Nigerian outside Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's actually what kind of pushed me. What kind
Wow, that's amazing.
That was an amazing insight. That was an amazing insight, really.
yeah.
Well, now we can see what the leaders are doing from your point of view, and I think they have a lot to answer. But what I figure out is that we, the youth, millennials, will become the leaders tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and that is why, sometimes you are able to equip yourself, from your point of view, just because of the disaster that you experience in your country, then you don't want your life to be that way. Now, it's motivated you somewhat, though it might make life difficult somehow because you're in another country trying to start all over again. Thank God you're where you are today because you have gone far better than how you started. And that is just your self discipline, your hard work, and your non-stop learning, and that has really helped. Now, I'm going to move forward a bit in this discussion. Now, there are some leaders that when they talk or do things, you look at them, is this really leader or some or 2-year-old person? And then when you see some youth, when they talk, you look at, wow, this person should rule this country. That is, some leaders, they behave like a kid and some behave better. So likewise the youth as well, they behave better and some behave derailed. So is age a factor to differentiate leaders? Is age a factor to differentiate leaders? To you?
Age. I won't say yes, but then I don't sound like someone that's undecisive. I won't say yes and no at the same time, but I don't sound like someone that's undecisive. Because the thing is, yes, age matters though, because as I told you, right, when I was growing up, right, I thought military government is way better, because at that age, right, it was either black and white for me.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I was like, hey, wait, Nigeria was under a better economy then, okay, and now we're under like stupid economy, and that's because people were afraid. People were doing things they're supposed to do. Okay, it's very simple. You're a senator from this country, from this state, okay, and then your roads are bad. If your roads are not good by next month, I'm going to come to your house and kill you and arrest your family, right? That's military government. Yeah. Then the senator will rush and do it, right? It's not money that's incentive, because the thing about that's when I was younger, right? I believe that everybody does everything because of an incentive, okay? Don't kid yourself. Everything you do, you're doing it because of something.
Yeah, that's facts.
If you tell yourself that, oh, okay, people like, be good from your heart. Okay, yes, it's true. You're good, you're kind from your heart.
Yeah.
But then deep down inside your heart, right? For example, you give somebody something. Somebody's like, I don't have money, bros. I don't have money to pay rent. You give the person money for rent, right? And the person takes the money from your hand and walks away. Takes the money and walks away, right? The first thing you say is, I give this guy money and he didn't even say thank you. Okay? As little as thank you is, right? Thank you is your incentive. Thank you is what you're expecting back. So whatever you do, everything. And then our leaders, right, need that incentive, regardless of what it is. Okay? 1. 2, the government, the leaders, right, are always the leaders are always having this, like um, there's this affordability. There's a lot of things afforded to them. There's a lot of things given to them. People think that, oh, let's give these guys more so that they can not look sideways and then rule us. But then it's a lie. And then finally, let me reverse back to your question. Your question was about
Age,
right? And then most of them that have made better decisions. Okay, I'm not saying all leaders are bad. Some of them, for example, Goodluck, when Goodluck was in power, right, he made some good decisions. Some people before him also made some good decisions. Okay, and they did it because of one thing: experience. Okay, they had that experience. They had that time. They have seen a lot of things go through. They have been senators, governors, chairman, whatever it is. That's because age plays a role. Okay, but with age, right, comes sluggishness. Okay, people are less active when they're old. So, if you're thinking about age being a problem, right? Oh, I'm sorry, about age being a factor, right? Yes, age plays a very, very important role.
So
Okay.
that shows.
But
If
okay.
like 30 years cannot be president.
Okay, 30 years can be president, right? But let's put a comparison, because then you're putting 30 years against what? Against 60 years, against 70 years. You put 30 years against 50 years, right? A 50-year-old man has seen more than a 30-year-old guy.
Yeah.
But a 30-year-old man has more energy,
Yeah, more agility.
more agility, not physical agility. I mean mental agility.
Yeah.
The fact that he's able to see something and adapt to it immediately is what a 30-year-old man will bring to the table. Now, this is what I'll say. Okay, if you're looking for qualities in a leader, right? The first thing you should look for, right, is mindset. People are old. Have you ever heard of something called an old soul? Has somebody ever told you,
Yeah.
this guy has an old soul?
Yeah.
That's because this person is young, but
His insight.
his insight is way farther than how young or his age or the level of life that he's in. So you need someone that has an old soul. And then why we're using the word old soul there is because in a way we need that experience in whatever in any leader we want. We need a leader that has gone through an experience, you understand?
Wow.
And that is why when you have a company and you need board of directors, right? Your board of directors are hardly ever anybody that's young. Board of directors are very 40 years, they're mostly 40, 50, 60. That's because the company needs somebody that's gone through, someone that's been a CEO, someone that's been a director, right, to be able to lead the company. So
Experience.
yes, age matters, but agility
Also
matters. So if you can get to a midpoint, that's like maybe 40 or 50 years old, that's where you get. You still get youth and you still get age at the same time.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir Patrick, can I chip in something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course.
What I felt, what I got from what you said, even though you didn't clearly state it, is,
Yeah.
we have like president, vice, and all those other shells. What if we could combine a young mind and like the old experience when it comes to age?
So you have like vice president as the young
The
guy.
president as the more experienced guy,
And then
and then the vice president as the
but you won't
young,
work
the
in,
age.
in Nigeria though, because you want to tell me that an old person will listen to a young person?
No.
But they can, they can like trade.
They can't.
They can trade knowledge.
What I think about that is that he has already said it, that we need experience. We need old souls. It's not about being over age, but it's about your what you have
Upstairs.
upstairs. What do you have to give?
Yeah.
Because there are still, I think, in the House of Assembly or in the Senate, there are 40-year-old people. Look at this. Is it Abo or what is his name?
Who?
That beat up.
Oh, the guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
He
not a
said
good
it.
example.
That's the only example.
That's the only
Sir
example,
Patrick,
actually, yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
only example.
And then it makes him look very bad.
No, it's not. the
Please
only
don't say
example.
Dino.
What about Dino? What about Dino? Dino is just like.
It's true. Dino is.
You understand? He's just.
We can classify Dino as a youth too, anyway.
And then Davido's uncle.
Oh.
That guy. Oh, yeah, it's true.
But is it wait?
A lot of them.
Sir Patrick, is it not bad in that we can only just point out? We can only just call like 4 names.
Well, the thing is that they are not involved. Youths are not involved.
That's true
They
too.
want to point fingers,
Yeah.
and they don't want to go there and fight. You understand, for what they want. And how can you fight? It's not until you start riot.
Yeah.
But you study towards that. There are some people that went to universities and study chemical engineering, you know, and they don't even know anything about the chemical. You understand?
Yeah.
It's very easy to stop politics. To study
Politics.
and then you get there, then you start changing things.
Impact
You know,
that knowledge.
You might not even go to school, especially in Nigeria.
In Nigeria,
You
yeah.
just involve,
The bar is
and
very
then
low.
you start learning, and before you know, you are making some changes. But we don't want to involve ourselves in that.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate your presence, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
Thank you very much.
and I think we are really enjoying and learning a lot from you. But you know, time is not always on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always our friend.
Yeah.
So we would like you to just give our listenership or our viewership your close remark. You sum up, because of time, you just sum up your encouragement, you know, from your experience. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, just real quick. I'm not really good at encouraging, but the thing is, just, and then this is very cliche. Just don't give up. That's all. Because the thing is, if I gave up once about anything I wanted to do, right, I wouldn't have done it. It's very simple. It's very cut short. Okay. The only thing you can do is try harder. Okay. And then for people in Malaysia, especially, I'm sorry that I'm pinning down. Okay. Because I cannot advise anybody too much in Nigeria. I don't really know. I've not gone back home in like 4 years, so I don't really know what they're going through. But for them, I'll say just try and speak up one, and then try and find a way to fix what's going on in Nigeria, right, from your own backyard. Okay, it starts from you. It doesn't start from the government.
Yeah.
And then secondly, for those in Malaysia, right, please, I'm begging you people. I'm using your platform to say this.
No, go ahead.
It's okay.
Okay, any issue that you see that's happening to us in this Malaysia, anything that you see that's happening to us, and you feel like, oh no, it's because we are this, or because we're Nigerians, or because we're Africans, right? We caused it for ourselves. Okay, and it's not too late. I know. Yes, you think Nigeria is bad. There's so many countries in the world right now that cannot even travel to Malaysia itself at all. Zero. They are blacklisted completely. Okay, we are not there yet. Okay, but we can be there, and then it just takes one simple thing. And then this is for Nigerians in Malaysia. Right? It takes one simple thing. Just sit down in your house and be quiet. Sit down in your house and be goddamn quiet.
That's
Just
facts.
don't cause any trouble. That's all.
Facts.
That's all you have to do. You don't have to like. I'm not telling you to go out and protest and do it. No, just sit in your house, you know, and then don't cause shit. Because by the time you start causing trouble, right, you're making it hard for other people that haven't come, or the other people that are here, okay, that are innocent, that are trying to earn a decent living, right. You're making it really hard for them, because by the time those people step out from their house or step out in public and show their passport, right, people see them like you that's causing trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm begging people, please just let's use our head. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
And don't give up on your dreams.
Thank you for that advice.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is Mr. Moses.
Yes, thank you.
You know, aka Moses Visuals.
Visuals. Don't forget that. Very important.
So we want to appreciate you all for listening,
Yes.
and we hope we have been able to answer some questions out there. And then we would like to say a very, very, very big thank you. That thank you is in capital letters.
Yeah.
So you know.
All caps.
To Mr. Moses UCHE OKPALAOKA. I wanted to ask you the meaning of that name because I love that.
My surname.
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, right? How do you ask me? How can you say you don't know the meaning of your surname? I was like, I wish I could change it, but I don't know.
No, man.
No.
The pronunciation is amazing.
There's something there. Maybe you.
I've asked my dad.
Yeah.
He was like,
It's very.
I don't know what it means. My father gave it to me. So like everybody's just taking it down like that. So,
So for taking his time from a very busy schedule, he's a very busy guy.
Yeah.
You're just seeing him here. The only way you can see him maybe on set.
On set is the only place you can see Moses.
On your TV or something like that. So he's not.
Very, very busy.
Yeah, it's very, very busy, and we appreciate your
Thank you
presence
very
here. So, our viewers and our listeners, if you want to do anything that concerns video, photography, graphic design, you can reach Mr. Moses
thank you very much.
at Moses Visuals.
Yeah.
That is, let me spell it out. MOSESVISUALS.
Yes.
On Facebook, on Instagram. As well, if you want to see his design, is Moses Visuals Designs on
Instagram.
on Instagram as well. So, and you can get more details on his website, www.mosesvisuals.com.
Yeah.
So, if you are watching the video, we'll put the link down and then you can get to him.
Yeah.
So, once again, this is the DIYS podcast, which means
The do it
the
yourself.
Do It Yourself podcast. And we want to thank you once again for listening and hope to catch you
Next time.
next time.
Peace. Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah.